Hey guys, how are you all? I hope you're all doing excellent. Today, we're going to continue to work on the RX-7. And I've probably said that hundreds of times by now. But in the last videos, you saw we finished wiring up the Haltech and got the engine fired up. Since then, we've been doing a lot of troubleshooting on the engine, most of it off camera because some of it's not that exciting, and some of it's I've been doing in conjunction with Haltech on the phone and with their web support where they dial directly into my laptop, which is incredibly amazing that they can do that and help out their customers as well as support for someone who's doing it on their own. Now, of course, we're not going to tune this car ourselves. We are going to bring it to a tuner to get it up and running, but we need to get it driving at least so that we can drive it there and save all that money on towing because our tuner is 2 hours away. Anyway, today, with the help of Haltech, we got sorted out incorrect pinout on the TPS sensor, so it was wired backwards. Double-checked ignition setup. Got the correct settings loaded in for our 1700cc injector dynamics injectors. I also got the alternator rewired because that wasn't working, so now that is charging the battery, which is great. Set the idle and a few other things I'm probably forgetting. Now, as it was hard to start before and we couldn't really keep it running well without the throttle open and barely catching idle, this is how it is now. Hit it, Jeff. So that is obviously wonderful, very excited about that. But now we're going to be shooting our videos, as we've said before, in a race for 7 suck. You okay in there?
It's a little gassy.
It is a little gassy. So we have an idea where we'd like the videos to go. We don't know if we'll get there. So each one is going to be an adventure, a build your own adventure. They're going to be across multiple days, sometimes at the day, sometimes at night, and we're going to see how much we can get done. So right now I was thinking we need to get the car back on these roller plates we have, casters, so we can move it around a little bit more. And I think we've tested the patience of our neighbors enough, and we should at least get the previous exhaust I have on here before we build the custom exhaust. And that's something we can check off and be done with in case we don't get time to build the custom exhaust before 7 stock. What do you think?
We can get it done before 7 stock.
How do you know that?
Optimism.
Optimism. The point is we have a very long checklist of things to do that we have to get through first, and we have to figure out what's essential and what's non-essential. And since we have an exhaust sitting back there that will be quieter than this downpipe, we need to try and do that first. So we're going to move some things around and see if we can get that on, and the sun is going down, so this will be an under the car flashlight adventure.
That Z front bumper is a lot bigger than that FC front.
Yeah. Just trying to get this unburied from the car park
Graveyard.
Pile. We got to put most of the stuff back on the RX-7.
Oh yeah, there's the.
Was this part of it?
Yes.
Mid pipe?
Yep.
Okay.
Ooh, see?
That's loud. Got it.
Look at that, the gem works.
It's so light. It's a racing exhaust.
From eBay.
Exactly.
eBay Racing.
It's made of solid Chinese steel. Oh god. Okay.
What you up to up there, Billy?
I'm trying to use these Amazon exhaust hangers and get the old exhaust back on these mounts, but I don't know if it's gonna.
It's super dark in the camera. Let me use this here.
I don't know if it's gonna work. Yeah,
But you,
they're way too small. So, gonna have to find some different exhaust hangers to finish this project.
we got a helper.
Kahlua. Thank you. This is not, no. This is no.
This is how you put on exhaust right here.
Can you Could you back up? Could you back? Please? Please! Could you back up, please?
No,
What did you get back here for?
because you're on the floor.
Okay. Okay, I know. Am I spending too much time on this car? Okay, sweetie. Okay, alright. See you later. Okay. Let's see. Well, we got 2 points mounted up on this exhaust here.
Got this one, which is now completely dark, so you can't see it.
Yeah, it's dark back here.
There it is. Right there, and then
Over here.
over
So
there.
it's at least hanging, so we can see if it's going to fit with the new downpipe that came with the turbo kit and everything. So let's try and take a next look. Okay, so we're going to abandon the exhaust for tonight because it's too dark. We don't have the bolts, and yeah, we're going to pick that up later. But one of the other things we want to do is, currently the fan is manually controlled. So it's just on a relay, but the Haltech has a setting or a output for fan control. So what I'm hoping to do is see if that output just turns on the relay after a certain temperature setting. So we're going to wire that up and give it a shot. Okay, so we messed around with the settings in the Haltech and we found the output for the fan controller. Now the thing is, this looks like it's meant to just plug directly into your fan harness, like the blade connectors that are in here. But we have this running off of a relay. And the tricky thing is what we found out is that this is constant power, and the signal wire connects it to ground, which is the opposite way we have the relay wired. So all I'm going to do is get things connected up. So I'm going to take the ground off the chassis. I'm going to put the power connector into the fuse box, and then I'm going to go ahead and wire the relay through a blade connection into there, and then that'll just be tucked away here, and we're going to give it another test. Okay, so we've got our relay ground. Instead of into the chassis, we have it on this blade connector. So that will go right into the signal wire here for the Haltech's fan controller, like so. And then I'll get this connected to fused power next. Cut it. Okay, and now we have the power trigger on the relay to a spade connector here, which will go right into this power distribution block. Now, usually this would automatically trigger the fans to come on. Let's test our experiment. I'm going to go to the Haltech and set the start temperature to lower than the current.
Don't forget to also plug in the battery back in, or reconnect the battery.
Yeah, to the, well, yeah, let's see if the fans just turn on when I do that. That'll be it.
Step 1. Nope.
That would be no.
Fan did not turn on.
Okay, so coolant temp is at 86. So we'll disable below 65 and enable above 75. And here, 1, 2, 3.
She's on.
Thermal fans work. Alright guys, it's a beautiful morning out here, and if you can tell, we've got everything cleared out because our plan is to move the FC today to the actual garage for more garage, so it's easier to work on. Now, if you remember the footage from last night, we need to get the exhaust on, because if we're going to drive this thing around the block to get in the front, we want to try and appease the neighbors as much as possible. So I'm going to get under here and put that back together. Alright guys, so we're trying to get the exhaust on here, but let me show you. I got the mid pipe bolted up, and there is a huge gap between the rear section of the exhaust and the mid pipe. So that means the down pipe is a different length than the one we had in the previous system. So even if I leg in here and use a little bit of the flex here, you'll see that is way too much of a gap to bridge, and we do have the rear exhaust hangers on, and it's pretty much lined up with the bumper. So we're just going to have to work it like this and work on building a custom one as quickly as we possibly can. Alright guys, so it's been quite a few hours since we abandoned the exhaust issue, but I've spent a lot of time dealing with the alternator. Put a souped up Series 6 FD alternator on the car because we wanted to run the electric fans and electric power steering, but I couldn't get it to work. So we've got our beautiful girl here back on here, the S4 alternator. So that's going to have to do for the time being. It does charge the battery, it is working, and it only drops a little bit when the fan comes on. We'll have to reevaluate that if it dies because it's so old, or when we put in the power steering, which is not in right now. But now it's time to get ready to move the FC. What does that mean for us?
Well, obviously we have to jack up the cars, get the little wheelie bobs out from underneath the tires. We need to take this section of the fence off right here. And we also have to make some ramps because as it comes off the cement, there's a drop through a planter. And then you're on the sidewalk, and then we have to make more ramps for the curb out into the street.
That's right. Not only do we have to get the car positioned, but we have to remove a section of our fence. We fenced the FC in here. So we're going to get to work on that and see what we can devise.
Alright, so we started moving the Rx7, and the reason why we stopped is because we realized that we had just one thing keeping the exhaust actually, and it was dragging it. So we temporarily stopped to jack up the rear end of the car to break this exhaust free, and then out through here we go.
Okay, Jeff got it.
Go home! Go home.
All right. Now we're ready to get back on the road.
The sidewalk.
Get back on the sidewalk.
Yep, back on the sidewalk because we're going to drive it that way. Down that, right there.
Okay, here we go.
So what we're actually doing now is so we don't have to make like a 1,000,000-point turn to get it out of the fence here. We're actually just going to put the rear end on the casters, and that way we can just slide it and perfectly line it up real quick, and then we're good to go.
Yeah, be much quicker. We're home.
How was that?
That was cool. It's so cool to just be moving her under our own power. That's amazing. That is amazing. Lots of work to do, but
yes, but
good.
FC, you're now home with the Z and the Speed 3 in the front side of the house again.
Yep. All right. Cool. Well, we accomplished a lot. Now we have to go put our fence back together.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. All right, guys, and here's what's left of the birthing from the FC. That's it. But this is great because this is going to give us the opportunity to clean this place up. Obviously, as the videos have accelerated, you've seen this get dirtier and dirtier and more, or excuse me, less and less organized, which is not the way I like to work, but I've just been feeling the pressure to get the car done. Obviously, she's still not done, but what this does is give me a whole other workspace to work on the body work. So I can clean this place up, set up some sawhorses. You can see a lot of it backed up over there, where I can work on it, sand it down, and then move into the garage to paint it. So that's going to finish up today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, seeing the FC drive for the first time in like at least 10 years, probably closer to 12. So that's huge. So it's running, driving. Anyway, you guys know what to do. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.